Please bring in the jury. Oh, just a moment, Deputy. Yes, I'm so sorry. We're going to take a brief recess, and then we'll bring in the jury. Court will be in recess. Please be seated. Thank you. Mr. DeCiembre, are you ready to call your witness?
I am, Your Honor.
Very good. Anything before the jury comes in?
No.
Please bring in the jury.
Jury's entered.
Please be seated. Court recognizes the presence of the jury, the defendants, their counsel, Mr. Ashton for the state. Members of the jury, the state has rested its case. The defense now has the opportunity to call witnesses. And Mr. DeCiembre, you will be first. Please call your witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, on behalf of Benjamin McNamee, the defense would call the Sherry Cotner.
I do. Have a seat.
Can I proceed? Thank you. Would you please state your name and spell it for the benefit of our court reporter?
LaSherry Codner, L-A-S-H-E-R-R-Y, last name C-O-D-N-E-R.
Good morning, Ms. Gardner.
Good morning.
Ms. Codner, do you happen to know the defendant in this case, or I should say one of the defendants, Benjamin McNamee?
Yes.
How is it that you know Mr. McNamee?
From Miami, growing up in Miami.
So you knew each other as children?
Yes.
From about what age?
Maybe about 16.
Okay. And did you and Mr. McNamee happen to be members of the Marching 100 together?
Yes.
When was that?
Since 2009.
All right. And that was at part of Florida A&M University?
Yes.
Did you yourself attend Florida A&M University?
No.
Where did you go to school?
Tallahassee Community College.
All right. It's my understanding that although you attended a separate school, you were still allowed to be a member of and perform in the FAMU's Marching 100.
Yes.
All right. Were you a member of that band in November of 2011?
Yes.
Do you happen to remember taking a trip down to Orlando to attend the Florida Classic while in the band?
Yes.
What was the band's function during the course of that trip? What were you participating in?
Well, it was the Battle of the Bands and the game Saturday.
Okay. So it was a 2-day trip?
Yes.
And when did the band-related activities actually end? When did the band stop performing? Was that Friday, Saturday?
Well, yes, that's Saturday after the game.
And after the game, what did you do?
After the game, got back on the bus and went back to the hotel.
All right. The bus that you rode back to the hotel, is that a bus that some of us have heard mentioned known as Bus C?
Yes, it is.
And was that your normal bus to ride on?
Yes, it is.
Why was that?
Because I'm a percussionist, and that's the percussion bus.
What type of instrument did you play?
Snare drum.
All right. You traveled back to where after the game and the performance?
Back to the hotel.
All right. And once you got back to the hotel, what, if anything, did you do?
Well, I went back to my room. I began to start to get ready, take my clothes out, and get ready to enjoy myself the rest of the evening.
Okay. You basically unwind.
I'm sorry?
Basically unwind after the performance?
Right.
All right. Did you happen to have any plans that evening?
Yes, I did.
What were those plans?
To go to Kissimmee, to the Bethune-Cookman University's band hotel.
You could speak a little louder.
To go to Kissimmee.
All right. Could you maybe move the microphone a little closer?
I planned on going to Kissimmee.
All right. What was the purpose of going to Kissimmee?
To hang out with some friends in Bethune-Cookman's band.
Okay. Was that another band that was also attending and performing at the Florida Classic?
Yes, it was the rival band.
All right. Did you have plans to go there with anyone in particular?
Yes, I did.
Who were those plans with?
Benjamin and Gideon.
You mean, when you say Benjamin and Gideon, are you referring to Benjamin McNamee
Yes.
and Gideon?
Gideon Brown, another percussion player.
Okay. Was Gideon also a member or rider of Bus C at the time?
No, he wasn't.
When did you make these plans to go to Kissimmee?
Maybe days before.
And had you spoken about it with Mr. McNamee from before this trip?
Yes.
So you go back to the hotel. You indicated you went back to your room for the purpose of cleaning up, unwinding.
Right.
Did there come a point in time where you decided to go back to the bus?
Well, yes, I went back to the bus because I noticed that I left my phone charger. You know, I wanted to charge my phone before I left, and so I noticed that I left my phone charger, so I had to go back to the bus and get it.
And did you ultimately proceed back to Bus C?
Yes.
When you got to the hotel, from the time that you got there, went up to your room, ultimately ended up going back to Bus C, you have a recollection as to how much time had passed?
Maybe about 30, 45 minutes.
Okay. At least a half hour?
Yeah, definitely.
When you went back to your room, was anyone with you there?
No.
Did you have roommates on this trip?
Yes, I did.
You have any idea where they were?
Well, I believe one of them was in the room. The other two girls, I had no idea.
The roommates that you're referring to, were any of them riders of Bus C?
Oh, no, they were clarinet players.
Okay. Now,
Well, when I went back to the bus, I noticed that there was a crossing going on.
did you know in advance a crossing was supposed to be happening?
No, I didn't, but it doesn't surprise me.
Okay. So you proceed back to the bus. Were you able to get on? Did you have to have somebody let you on?
Well, no, the bus door was actually already open, so maybe somebody had already been on or just got on, or I don't know. But the door was already open.
Where do you believe, or where were you of the mindset that you may have left your belongings on the bus?
Well, my belongings were in the first compartment, like where the DVD player is, since I'm the DVD girl, so that's where my bag was.
You're the what girl?
The DVD girl?
What's the DVD girl?
Well, it's like my position on the bus. I guess since it's a bus full of guys, and on the long road trips, we like to watch movies. So my position is to change the movies before it gets to the credits. And so I have to do that before it gets to the credits and change out the movies and make sure the guys are happy.
Okay. Where do you sit on the bus usually? Or I should say, where did you sit on the bus traveling back to the hotel that day?
Somewhere in the middle.
But you left your belongings in the front portion of the bus?
I have to carry the DVDs as well, so I keep all the DVDs and my belongings like in the same bag, and I leave it right in the DVD player compartment box.
Okay. Now, you indicated you get on the bus, the door was already open.
Right?
You indicated you noticed that there appeared to be a crossing going on.
Objection needing.
Overruled.
You noticed there appeared to be a crossing going on.
Yes.
Did you know at the time that you were getting on the bus who was supposed to be crossing?
No, I didn't.
Did you ultimately find out who was crossing?
Yes, I did.
How did you find out who was crossing?
Well, because I heard people screaming, Rob, Champ, so it kind of clicked that it was Robert.
Were those nicknames or references that people usually used when they referred to Mr. Champion?
Yes.
All right. When you got on the bus, did you notice anyone in particular?
Yes, I did.
Who did you notice?
It was Benjamin.
When you say Benjamin again, are you referring to Mr. McNamee?
Yes.
Where did you notice Mr. McNamee at?
Well, he was right in the front area.
And when you say right in the front, what are you talking about?
I mean, like the first few rows.
All right. And did you see anyone else with him?
Yes, I did. I seen also Aaron Golson.
Mr. Golson?
Yes.
Do you see Mr.
Your
Golson?
Honor, we object and approach the bench.
Yes. jeez, prior to her plea, she provided a statement to the state, a recorded statement, correct?
I would accept Mr. Decembre's representation that they did. I was not there, but I accept his representation that they did.
Okay, and that recorded statement was provided to the defense.
That is correct.
Okay. Subsequent to providing that recorded statement, this witness gave a deposition.
Correct.
And in that deposition, this witness testified as follows.
She said, and I'm just going to the most direct quote, page 86, line 24. My question, okay, is there any human being that you can identify being on that bus other than you, Mr. McNamee, who you claim was standing next to you? No, I don't remember. I can't recall. Okay, just so I'm clear, you can't give us the name of anybody on that bus other than you and Mr. McNamee, correct? Yes.
Okay. Now, I'll get to you in just a second if you just stand by. And the witness has just testified that she saw Mr. McNamee in the front of the bus when she went to get her phone charger or her belongings. And then she was asked a question about who else she saw on the bus and was in the midst of responding apparently to identify another person, which Mr. Ashton maintains is contrary to her unequivocal deposition testimony. He asserts that her testimony about seeing someone else was known to the defense, and by being known to the defense, compelled the defense to provide such information to the state, and to do so constitutes a discovery violation.
That is my position, and again, my assumption that Mr. Decembre knew is by the question he asked. But obviously, if he says that it was a surprise to him as well, then I can't blame him, but that's my position.
Okay, if I could, in the recorded statement made by this witness, do you have that with you, Mr. Ashton?
I do.
Okay. Well, Mr. Decembre, did she make a statement, in the recorded statement, was there a portion where she addressed who else was on the bus?
There was, Your Honor, but for the benefit of the court, beyond that, what the state is failing to look at in the deposition the state was referencing is page 75.
Mr. Decembre, let me
I apologize.
guide us on this path that we are currently on. Was there a portion of the statement, the recorded proffer, in which this witness made reference to who she saw on the bus?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was that?
That she had seen Benjamin McNamee. She believed she had seen Aaron Golson. She had not seen, but heard several other individuals that were too far away from her to be able to visualize, but she recognized their voices.
Say that last part again.
They were too far away for her to visually see, but she was able to recognize.
She recognized voices.
Yes.
Okay, very good. And do you have that proffer transcribed?
I do not, Your Honor. It's just on this.
Okay, that's your recollection.
Correct.
Okay, and then Mr. Ashton is asking the court to conduct a hearing on this alleged discovery violation. And was there information to the defense which should have been disclosed to the state? Mr. Decembre?
Your Honor, the only reason the defense is aware of that information is because it was provided to me in the discovery process from the Office of the State Attorney.
And in what context was that provided?
It was provided as a supplemental discovery disc.
Okay, provided in the proffer,
Containing the proffer.
contained in the proffer.
Recorded proffer. The
Okay.
author.
Okay, and so subsequent to that, though, the witness gave a deposition,
Yes, ma'am.
and she testified differently from what she testified to or stated in her proffer. Is that right?
Yes and no.
Okay,
Again, if I could direct the board, if the board is receptive,
sure.
if the court and the state would turn to page 75. If the state would go to page 75 of
The deposition?
Correct, that he was referring to,
Okay.
Ms. Codner at that point in time is being questioned by counsel for Mr. Golson, Craig Brown, beginning on line 13. Question, all right. And on the night of Mr. Champion's death back in 2011, do you recall whether or not you saw Mr. Golson on the bus while Mr. Champion was going through his crossing? Answer, yes, he was around me as well.
I asked the counsel to keep reading to the next page at line 3.
I intended to.
Go ahead.
Okay, you said he was there, he was around you. Answer, if I could, I think so, yeah. I mean, I know somebody tall
Ask
was
counsel
there.
to slow down a little bit so the court can actually understand.
Thank you for being considerate of the court's processing, but I'm following. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Answer, if I could, I think so, yeah. I mean, I know somebody tall was next to me. I believe that was him. Question, okay. Well, I want you to be certain. Again, because if you're not sure it was him, then I need you to probably answer it that way, not to guess. Answer, beginning on the top of page 76. Okay, well, I mean, I'm not certain it was him then, because I mean, Question, okay, let me ask you this. Were there other tall, dark-skinned gentlemen or band members that were on the bus that night? Answer, yes, I mean, question, okay. Answer, not that I can recall where. Where? Question, and to the best of your recollection, and Mr. Ashton chimes in, hold on, she was saying something. Mr. Brown, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. Mr. Ashton, go ahead and finish up. You were saying something. He spoke over you. Finish that, and then he'll ask another question. Witness, well, I was saying that, I mean, I don't know if there were, I know there's other tall, dark-skinned guys. I mean, that night, I can't really per se, but yeah, I mean, yes. Mr. Ashton, okay.
My difficulty, Your Honor, is we've apparently gone from an original statement to proper, which is recanted in deposition, to, well, it was a tall black guy next to me, to now, apparently, she's going to say that Golson was there.
But to refresh the jury's recollection, if you could, where do you remember seeing Mr. McNamee?
Objection, asked and answered, the jury's recollection needs to be refreshed.
Given that we were sort of...
Overruled. Go ahead.
Do you remember where you saw Mr. McNamee?
Yes, I do.
Where would that have been?
It was in the first few rows.
First few rows of the bus.
Yes.
When you're referring to the first few rows, do you mean first few rows from the front?
Yes, like maybe the first 3 rows.
And with respect to Mr. Golson, where do you recall seeing him?
He wasn't too far from Benjamin, maybe somewhere in that same area.
All right. Now, can you describe for the benefit of the jury what the lighting conditions were like on the bus?
Well, it was completely dark. The only light was like an outside light pole that was shining in through the front, like, glass window of the bus.
Like the front windshield?
Yes.
Were there any lights on the bus turned on?
No.
Do you have any recollection as to whether or not the window blinds were up or down?
They were down. We just always have them down.
Now, you didn't look at every single blind, I'm assuming.
I'm sorry?
You didn't look at every single blind to confirm that.
Oh, no.
All right, but you believe that they were.
Right.
What, is there a difference in lighting conditions, if you're able to state for the benefit of the jury, from the front of the bus where you get on, going towards the rear of the bus? You know what I'm asking?
Objection calls for speculation unless she had that position.
Sustain.
The only light you indicated was coming in from the front windshield.
Yes.
Was there any source of light coming from the back of the bus that you were able to see?
Objection, basis of knowledge of her position. How could she?
Overruled.
Do you recall seeing any source of light coming from the back of the bus?
No, there was completely no light. The only light where was some sort of illumination on the bus was right there in the front with the outside light pole.
Now, when you get on the bus, what do you do at that point?
So I get on the bus, I retrieve my phone charger, which is in the first, the DVD compartment, and then I go directly to the driver's seat.
Do you leave at that point?
No, I don't.
Why not?
I mean, because it was a crossing going on, and so I just figured I might stay and give words of encouragement.
Excuse me. I didn't.
Could you repeat that answer for the court?
I'm sorry, I said that I didn't leave, and I figured I might as well stay and give like words of encouragement to whoever was crossing.
When you say words of encouragement, what do you mean?
Meaning like keep going, push through, don't stop, hurry up.
When you're stating those words of encouragement, are you stating them like you are now in that tone of voice, or are they coming out in a little different way?
Oh yeah, definitely. They were like, I definitely had to scream. And since when I scream, my voice is high pitched, it had to be, so obviously the person can hear it since there was so much going on.
All right. Was it noisy on the bus?
Yes, definitely.
When you get on the bus, aside from Mr. McNamee and Mr. Golson, did it appear that there was anyone else on the bus?
Yes, definitely.
And how could you tell?
Well, through the voices, just all the commotion, the rocking of the bus. I mean, I guess you could just pretty much tell. You could feel.
Are you, or were you able to tell where in the bus you believed Mr. Champion may have been in the crossing over at that point?
Well, based on the voices that I heard, it sounded like it was coming from like the middle back of the bus, because obviously no one was in the front, but all the voices were coming from like the middle back of the bus.
Were you able to see anyone in the middle? Crowd, distinct people, shapes?
No, nothing at all.
All right. How long do you remain on the bus?
No more than 10 minutes.
And at what point in time do you decide to get off the bus?
Well, I got off the bus when I heard the chant,
What chant are you referring to?
the Hua chant.
The what?
Hua? Hua?
Hua chant?
Yes.
What does that chant mean to you?
Well, it means when the person actually touches the back of the bus. So like when they complete it, it's like everybody says the Hua, I guess, or whoever is closer to them can actually see the person touching the back of the bus, and everybody just screams Hua.
So when that happened, what did you believe had just happened?
He completed the task.
He being who?
Robert.
You mean Mr. Champion?
Yes.
Once that happens, what do you do?
Well, at that point, I leave instantly since I'm so close to the front door.
While you were on the bus, did you have any conversation or any type of verbal exchange with anyone?
Yes, I did.
With whom?
Well, it was with Benjamin. I was reminding him that we need to go. We need to hurry up and get ready so we can leave.
And was this a full-blown conversation?
No, not at all. I mean, it was just me telling him, we need to hurry up and go, and get ready.
All right. And again, when you did that, were you talking like you are now?
Oh, no, obviously I had to scream it since there was so much noise going on.
Ms. Codner, While you were on the bus, you had indicated you were shouting words of encouragement.
Yes.
Did you participate at all in any type of physical hazing?
No.
Were you aware that the hazing was going to be taking place that evening?
No, I didn't.
Were you ultimately charged with any type of crime for the events of that evening?
Yes, I was.
What were you charged with?
Well, first initially it was the felony hazing, and then it was they added like a manslaughter charge.
Were you ever aware of what your penalties were for those offenses?
Objection, relevance.
Sustained.
I'll withdraw, Your Honor. Did you ultimately decide to enter a plea?
Yes, I did.
And to what offense or offenses did you enter a plea?
Well, I entered the plea on, I guess it was the hazing charge because of the plea deal, the manslaughter was dropped. So it was just the hazing. Yeah, I guess I just entered the plea to the hazing.
And what type of plea did you enter?
It was a no contest.
Based on the time that you were on the bus that evening, at the time that you were there, did you think that you had committed any type of crime?
No, not at all.
I don't have any additional questions at this moment, Your Honor.
Yes.
Show you things Exhibit number 5. You ever seen a document like this? I know it's not the one that has your signature. You ever seen a document like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's a document that is provided to you every year by Florida A&M University. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you are asked to read it,
Yes.
understand it,
Yes.
and sign it.
Yes, sir.
And did you do all three of those things before the 2011-2012 school year at FAMU?
Yes, sir.
You just told counsel that you didn't think that anything illegal was done. Is that correct?
Objection, Your Honor, that mischaracterizes the witness's answer.
Overruled.
Did you believe that the activity that was going on Bus C, known as crossing, was illegal?
Did I believe it was illegal?
Did you believe in the fall of 2011 that the activity, let me rephrase and step back, establish a few things. Have you crossed Bus C?
Yes, I have.
When did you cross Bus C?
I believe it was 2010, 2011.
And how many crossings have you witnessed or participated in between your crossing and the one that you're describing here today?
None. Or I guess one, since it was my crossing and Robert's being two.
Now, but you are familiar with what a crossing is.
Yes, sir.
Are you familiar that there are three aspects to crossing? Hot seat, prep, and the crossing itself.
Yes.
And that is always the way it works, as far as you know, correct?
Yes.
Did you believe in the fall of 2011 that that activity that I have just described violated Florida law as described in this document which you say you read?
No, I don't think so.
So where the statement says hazing includes but is not limited to pressure or coercing the student into violating state or federal laws, any brutality of a physical nature, such as whipping, beating. Are you telling this jury that you did not believe the activity you have just described met that definition? And if so, why not?
I mean, I didn't see it that way. I don't know.
Explain to the jury why you didn't see it that way.
I mean, I didn't see it that way. I just figured, you know, we were just trying to get to the back of the bus. I mean, I just figured it was like a competition, I guess.
You thought it was a competition. Okay. How many people are there on the team that's trying to get to the back of the bus?
What do you mean, like?
Well, if it's a competition, that means there's two sides, right?
Right.
Okay. On the one side, there is the individual trying to get from the front of the bus to the back of the bus, right?
Right.
That's one. How many people are there trying to prevent that person from getting the front of the bus to the back of the bus?
I mean, it can vary
From what to what?
from 1 to 40 people, 30
From
people.
one?
Yes.
What experience do you have with a crossing where there was only one person trying to prevent the individual from getting to the back of the bus?
I mean, I don't necessarily have an experience, but I mean, there is no per se in like a number of people that have to be there to prevent the person.
In your crossing, how many people were there preventing you from getting to the back of the bus?
It was maybe about 30.
30?
Yeah, about 30 or 40.
And you said in Robert's case it was about 40?
Yes, probably.
So it's a competition of 1 versus 30 or 40. That's how you describe this event.
Well, no, because there's people also helping the person who's crossing. So it wouldn't be necessarily that one person against 40 people, because you have, like, some people help me cross. They help, me get to the back.
When you had your crossing, were there people who were punching back on your behalf?
Well, not necessarily punching back, but helping me push through. I mean, I'm a girl, very small.
All right. And what is the role of the opposing team in this competition that you've described?
I mean, they prevent you from getting to the back, whether it be pulling you closer, to the front. They just prevent you from getting to the back.
Just pulling?
I mean, pulling, I guess, whatever it takes.
Tell me what else.
Well, I can only speak on my behalf. Pulling, well, they were holding like my arms and my legs.
That was it, just holding you.
I mean, obviously they were punching me in my back. They didn't hit my front torso. They didn't hit anywhere above my neck. That's about it. It was really mainly my back.
Holding you and punching you, right?
I guess if you want to describe it like that.
Well, I'm just asking you how you describe it.
Right. Well, I mean, in my case, yes.
Is that what you understand a crossing is?
Yes.
It's not a pillow fight, right?
I mean, no, there are no pillows.
Right. It's fists
Right.
and feet.
I guess.
But
yeah.
the reality of it is there really are no limitations, right, on what the opposing team can hit the...
Objection, Your Honor, hasn't established the witness's ability to answer that.
Overruled.
Well,
Right. There's no limitation.
I mean, there are limitations.
Really? What are they?
I mean, I just said that they didn't hit me in my front torso because I have breasts. I'm a woman.
Oh, for a
So,
woman.
They didn't hit me in my front, my front chest area. They didn't obviously try to hit me in my head, or, it's not like, they didn't try to hit me in my head area. I mean, they weren't trying to break my limbs.
Okay. Is it fair to say that your opinion, Ms. Codner, is that you and your friends did nothing wrong?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, what do you mean me and my friends did nothing wrong?
You and your fellow percussion section band members, you believe, in your heart of hearts, that you all did nothing wrong. Isn't that your position as you sit here today?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think so.
So you do believe that you all did something wrong?
Well, I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
I mean, well, I guess based on everything what's going on now, yes.
But at the time, despite the fact that this document that you signed acknowledged your knowledge, any brutality of a physical nature such as whipping, beating, you're telling this jury that you did not believe that that applied to the events, the crossing system.
I mean, no, I didn't think so.
Isn't it an essential part of the crossing the hot seat?
Yes, sir.
Isn't the whole point of the hot seat for the person to sit down with their head between their legs and to be beaten on the back by other band members?
I mean, I guess if that's the way you want to put it.
You tell me, what is it? What is the hot seat? Describe to this jury, what is the hot seat?
Well, the hot seat is what you just said. Is you put your head down, your hands over your head, and somebody beats your back, plays on your back.
And do you still maintain that even back then, you did not think that that was prohibited as hazing?
I mean, I figured it was for a purpose. So
For what purpose?
just for the purpose of just history.
You mean tradition?
Yes.
Okay. Then why is it done in the dark, Ms. Codner? Why is it
Overruled?
Why is it done in the dark?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why.
When you got on the bus, you said that Mr. Champion was already halfway down the bus, correct?
Yes, sir.
He had already, let me rephrase that. If this crossing happened as it normally does, before you got there, he would have gotten a hot seat.
Well, no.
No?
No.
I thought you said that that was part of it, the hot seat.
Right, but it doesn't happen at the same time as the crossing.
It doesn't.
No.
Okay.